Hi everyone! Today I am working on a swap card. My team holds monthly swaps and the theme this month is leaves, and I was so glad when someone picked that theme because it was my favorite. I love fall. Fall is one of my things, and leaf stamps I'm always gravitating towards them. When a new catalog comes out, that's kind of what I look for in the fall catalog, and this one is a really pretty one. Some of you who've been with Stampin' Up! A long time, like I have, maybe remember the stamp set Gorgeous Grunge. It was a super popular stamp. It only had maybe 5 stamps in the container, but there were no words. It was all kind of things like this. And it was really great for creating backgrounds. And that retired a while ago, and I really think this kind of, and the name kind of instantly made me think of Gorgeous Grunge, and Gorgeous Leaves is even better because you've got the background things, but then you've also got leaves, so perfect combination. And then they've added dies, and I love these dies. Let me explain why. You've got dies that cut out these stamped images, but then they added these detail leaves, and the detail leaves do not match up with the other solid leaves. They're kind of different, so they're bigger and smaller ones and bigger ones, and they're just meant to play with them. They're not meant to layer on top, which is kind of interesting, something a little different. And then this one is a twig, which is really great for, you know, building an arrangement. You know, you want to have something tall and spiky and maybe dark. So a twig, super fun. Now you can also, I'm thinking that you can use this maybe sideways and with something else, maybe put a bird like it's a branch coming off the side, so it can be a branch as well. And so it's just a nice little die to have in your collection. So it's a nice and a really nice set. This is part of the mini catalog that's going out right now, and you can find that at my blog. It's going until December. So anyway, that's what part of this. Now, one other thing I want to tell you about really quick before we start on the card is that Celebration is going on right now, and that's kind of weird because normally it's in the spring, but it's happening right now. It's the summer celebration, first time they've ever done it. It's really fun, and during Celebration you get to choose a free item from the special Celebration catalog when you spend $50. And if you spend $100, you can pick a level 2 product, or 2 of the level 1 products. So there's just a nice little catalog here. This is also at my blog. That's Beth's paper cuts, and so you can find both of those catalogs, the mini catalog and the Celebration catalog, at my blog. And one more thing about Celebration, they always at Celebration do a join deal, and this year's join deal is quite fabulous. Normally you buy a starter kit, and that starter kit costs $99, but you can pile $125 worth of products into your starter kit, whatever you want from the current lineup of products. So you can pick from the mini catalog, the annual catalog. You can go online, fill up your starter kit with just whatever you personally want. But during Celebration they always add something, and oh, here's the little twig I was talking about. Anyway, they always add something, and this time the ad is so great. You get to choose a bundle from the mini catalog. Now, it's not any bundle. There's like 10, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12. 12 different bundles from the mini catalog, and they're really beautiful bundles, and there's a variety. There's some that have dies, but there's also some that have punches, because not everybody has the die cut machine. So take a look at that, because whenever your order reaches that $100 mark, it's always a good idea to kind of think about joining, and even more so when there's a bundle thrown in. So the bundle is on top of the $125 worth of stuff that you can pick out. And some of these bundles are, you know, they're $40, $50. The punch ones are $36. So that's in addition to the $125 stuff, and you're still only paying $99, and it ships to you for free. So it's just a really great deal. And you know, when you're a demonstrator, you get discounts and all kinds of fun things, and you do swaps. So anyway, it's great. Ask me any questions, happy to answer. There's no weirdness going on, like you can quit at any time. People sometimes join and decide, you know, I don't know that I have time for this. I'm just going to take my starter kit. Or you join and do a little bit and you stamp with some friends, or you join and do a lot and maybe have a class or two, or do something online like this. So it's up to you. That's the great thing about Stampin' Up! It's totally how you do it, or how you decide not to do it. So anyway, this could be free if you join. So this is the Gorgeous Leaves bundle. It's $44 and it's really a pretty little bundle. So let's make some cards with it. I am doing my swaps, like I said, and I'm gonna do this one. I might change it a little bit, but I want to show you a couple others while we're here. This I think is going to be the swap, not sure, maybe this one. So I'm gonna make some more and see what I think. And here I'm using just some fall colors, and I'm using Cajun Craze, and this one uses Bumblebee and Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to change that up on the one we do together because, let me show you what I'm going to change it to. I'm going to stay with Cajun Craze, but I'm going to change it to Crushed Curry and Old Olive. And the reason for that is, during now with the join deal and all that, people are wondering, when you're a new stamper or maybe just a new demonstrator, what do you order? What do you get? And I wanted to point out that Stampin' Up! Breaks its inks into color families. So it's really kind of nice if you don't know, if you don't have anything or you only have a few and you say, what do I get? I don't know what to get. It's really nice to kind of stick with what color family are you drawn to. I'm drawn to the Regals. It used to be called Earth, Earth Elements or something like that, but it's Regals. And I am really drawn to the Regals. And so I decided I'm going to try to use inks in the one family. Because when you're starting out, I mean, I have every color, but you might not have every color. And maybe you want to stick with a family. And that way you can buy things in bulk. Like you can get a multi-pack of the cardstock. And if you know, that way you've got one of every, or a couple of every color. And you can do that. I want you to know that you can actually get the ink pads. If you go to this page where it says assortment and bundles on page 126, you can order an entire bundle of the ink pads and you're really getting one free. Because if you price it out, each pad is $7.50 each, but if you buy the bundle, it's $67.50. And so if you figure that out with the math, it's like you're getting one pad free. Same thing with your ink refills. You're getting a refill free. So think about that. So stick with pick which color family your eye is drawn to. Maybe you're a subtles person or brights. And then you can throw in a few of these neutrals on top. So like if you went with the Regals collection, you might want to throw in a navy. So, and if you go with the subtles, you might want to throw in a Sahara sand. And if you go with this one, what do you throw in? I don't know, maybe a basic gray or maybe the early espresso. So anyway, lots of good choices here. And so I wanted to point out the discount for buying in the bundles. And you can get cardstock in bundles and the refills and the ink. Anyway, that's my little pitch right now. So now we're going to focus on the card. So I am starting with a base of Cajun Craze. And then I've got a little matte piece here, and this is cut 5 by 3 3/4. And then I've got this one, just a 1/4 inch different. So this one's at 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. All right, and we're going to stamp on this one. And then I also cut a piece for the inside, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to start kind of building from the background on this, and I'm going to go with this is that splatter piece, and I really like this one. So we're going to go with the crushed curry. And here I'm going to ink it up, but I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to kind of come in and tap it around. So I've got darks and lights. I kind of didn't do well in the middle, but I'm not going to worry about it because I'm adding. And then on the side, I'm going to come in with the smaller one. Where is it? Here it is. I'm going to go in and I'm going to start off and kind of bring it in. Just kind of. So I'm just doing the edges. So the edges will be a little darker. And then I'm going to take the leaf stamp and throw some of these around. The center is going to mostly be covered, so I'm not worried too much about that. Okay, so right now it's just a background. Then I'm going to grab this wood grain one and early espresso. Now I'm going to stamp it a little higher than I did on my sample. And I'm going to also stamp it. Now it's going to overlap here, and I'm not going to worry about it because you're not going to see that once I layer all my things together. So there's a lot of heaviness going on right here, and I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so that's the background. And let's go ahead and put that down. So right now it looks kind of messy, but we're going to build on top of this. Next, on a piece of scrap, we're going to stamp our leaves. So I want one of kind of each leaf. So I'm going to use the yellow one. Now, in our backyard, we have a skinny leaf like this. I'm not sure what it is, but it tends to be yellow in the fall. So I'm going to do that one in yellow, just because maybe that's a real leaf. I'm not really good with I don't know much about my leaves. And then we have a sugar maple. That one I do know. It gets very orange, and I love the way it looks in the fall. So that one's going to be Cajun Craze. And then this one that kind of looks like my elm, where'd it go? I'm going to do an old olive. Not sure if it's supposed to be an elm. It kind of looks like my elm. There. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. I have this little mini machine here, so I'm going to use that. I love that little mini machine. It's so small. It folds up and it sits right on my desk and it doesn't take up a ton of space. So it's really nice. Okay, so I have my little leaves cut out, and when I did my first sample, I thought, do I like all this ivory around it? And it doesn't really bother me, but I thought maybe we would try, since I'm making another one, to see what we thought about sponging the edges. And I thought maybe I would do it in a softer color, not something real dark, and I decided to see what I thought of sponging the edges. You tell me what you think. Is it necessary? I don't think it's necessary. One of my stamp campers would say, if I can add another step, I will do it. So maybe that's what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm kind of sponging the edges with the crumb cake. That's kind of fun, right? Alright, we'll see what we think when we put it all together. Alright, now I'm going to build on my pieces. So I wanted to use that twig piece, and when I did my first sample, I'm just realizing that I stamped this in soft suede, and this is early espresso, which is so close to the twig, but I think that's okay. We're going to go with it anyway. Now, how I like to layer these down is I like to put a little adhesive down and then layer them, since I know that adhesive is going to be covered. Now, if you don't know for sure if your adhesive is going to be covered, maybe you don't want to do that. And then for this one, I actually cut it because some of that, the lower piece, was going to be hidden anyway, and that way I can raise it up and I can angle it different, and that way it's kind of sticking out more like that. Okay, and then I'm going to put down, and I already cut it out, a bunch of copper leaves. I think I'll go with the same one. Now you could take the time to make sure that all of those little detailed cutouts are, you know, taken away from your leaf. You know, just kind of pop out these little cutouts. But I kind of like that some of them are out and some of them are not. So I'm just going to let it be. However it wants to be. So let's put that down. Oh, and then I'm going to start layering these guys. So let's put man, it doesn't want to go down. My fingers are sticky. Alright, stay. I've got some of these little tiny leaves cut out too. Maybe I'll add one, or I have this one cut out. I just kind of went and cut a bunch of leaves out with that copper. Maybe I'll add that one. Yep, I think I will. Okay, so then I want to add some linen thread and wrap it around. And I wrapped around a couple times. But I wanted, on my sample, I wrapped around a couple times, but my bow is a single, you know, it's the leftover tail, so I just have a single loop on the bow. And I decided I like it better if I can get a double loop on the bow, so I'm going to actually fold the thread in half before wrapping it around. Okay, and then I'm using some scraps of Cajun Craze. So we're going to stamp a greeting. Now the set does not come with a greeting, and that's kind of freeing a little bit. So you can kind of go anywhere with this. This can be a birthday card, it can be anything. It could just be a hello. And I decided to look through some of my greetings, and I pulled out one that is perfect for this time of year, and also I wanted to point it out because it's really a nice stamp set. And anyway, it's got a happy Thanksgiving, and that's something everybody's like, where's a Thanksgiving stamp? There's one right there. But it also has some fun little images that you can go with. You can add a little squirrel to the inside if you felt like it. There's a leaf, and just really cute. Happy fall, y'all. With a grateful heart. Super nice. But you've also got some other extra things too, so you don't have to go with, it's not fall only. You've got Christmas. It's a nice greeting set is all I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna go with that Happy Thanksgiving. I love that one. I think it's actually still in a block. Nope. There it is. And I'm going to stamp it in Early Espresso. Hopefully. I'm sorry if my head gets in the way. There we go. Alright, and now I'm just going to create a banner with this by forking the ends. So I'm going to put this just right across, kind of keeping down those leaves. I'm just going to throw a lot of dimensionals on the back of here. And I am out of large dimensionals, I think. I think I am. Still not back in the swing of things. starting my classes again, and you know, I'm just going through things faster than I thought, and which is good, but I just have not been ordering enough of the adhesives now that I'm sharing them with the group. Thought I did, but I didn't. So I'm using the mini ones, and I'm kind of just adding a lot. More dimensionals are on their way. Okay. Hopefully they'll get here before Saturday stamp camp. Okay, so there is my card, and then I'm going to add dimensionals to the back of this to give it some lift, and I'm going to use some of the sides, I think, because they're thicker. I bet you all use your sides too. At least I hope so. It's a good idea. Okay. There we go. And then on the inside, just kind of adding a little, almost looks sponged. And then those leaves again, those little trio of falling leaves, kind of down the side. There. Oh, that's the one that's done. Let's go ahead and put that inside. And if you wanted to add a sentiment to the inside in that same stamp set, banner year, there's one that says with a grateful heart. So that would be nice for Happy Thanksgiving, and then you can say why you're thankful for that person. So this is my Thanksgiving swap card, I believe, but I wanted to show you another card that you can make with this same stamp set that's not quite so fall and good maybe for all year round. And I'm using non-fall colors. So let me fast forward the video while I clean my stamps, and then we'll make the next card. Okay, I think I am all set. I have the same sizes of cardstock, only this time I've got, this is Evening Evergreen, basic white. Last time I used vanilla, and then this one is called Soft Succulent. And Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent are part of this year's new In colors. So these are both kind of in the same little family. And I'm going to layer it like so. Okay, so I'm going to do my stamping on this one first, and I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So I'm going to attempt to make kind of like a dense ground of fallen leaves. Let's see if I pull that off. So I'm going to start by adding, let's see, I'm going to just pick a leaf. I think I'm going to go with this one. And I'm going to stamp in the Soft Succulent, but I'm going to stamp off once to kind of remove some of the ink so it's even lighter. And I'm just going to kind of randomly place those around. I think that's good. And then I'm going to pick another leaf, and this time I'm not going to stamp off. I'm going to go full strength Soft Succulent. So then we've got these going on. Okay, and then I'm going to go with the Evening Evergreen with my third leaf, and this one is a darker ink, so we're going to go full strength on that one. Okay, So I'm hoping that with the different changes in color that it kind of looks like a pile of leaves, and then if you needed to, you could, let me get the lighter one out again. If you have areas that have a large white space, you could ink up the little splatter stamp and kind of fill it in a little bit. Okay, I think that's what I was going for. So hopefully it makes sense. And I think it's pretty, just as a background. It's just a pretty little background. And then we're going to layer it on our evening evergreen, and I think that is a nice little leaf themed card. Oops, a little crooked. Pretend you don't see that. And then I'm going to go ahead and wrap it with this evening evergreen organdy. I think they're calling it striped organdy. What are they calling it? Open weave. Now here's where you can look at it and say, what do you want up and down? What do you want that to be up? I think I want that to be up. Okay. And I'm going to tie the bow to the left side. And I've decided that I'm going to choose a different greeting set, and this one is called Ornate Thanks, and I really like this one because you can pair up a large word with some smaller words, and you can use different color inks. So I think it's a pretty little one. We're going to do the So Grateful, and I think that's already on a block. Yes, it is. Is this piece of paper long enough? Yes, it is. Okay. So I decided I wanted to emboss this one and use a darker paper. So I'm going to have a little scrap here of evening evergreen. And I usually just grab a piece of paper from my recycle bin. Now, sometimes when you stamp on a scrap like this, you've got nothing to hang on to, so I usually keep a little bone folder nearby, and I'll hold on to it with that. Alright, so I've got my little greeting here, and I just want to flag the end a little bit. I think this is 3/4 of an inch wide. Yes, it is. Okay. And I just grabbed a scrap, so I didn't really have exact measurements. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and just layer this down, but first I want to put a couple leaves down. So this time I thought I would cut some in silver, just to kind of go with a lighter look. So there we have silver foil. And then I cut this evening evergreen. Should I put this little baby one down? I don't know. Alright, I'm going to leave it there for now. And then I'm just going to go ahead and layer my So Grateful. I'm going to bias it to the side so that the ribbon's got freedom to roam here. It's a thicker ribbon. I'm not going to go on top of it. Oh my goodness, I'm looking forward to my order of regular size dimensionals. These minis are awesome when you need them, but I do not need them right now. Okay, there is the outside, and then the inside I'm going to do almost the same as that first card. Let me do my inside greeting. So outside says, "So grateful." Inside we're going to say, "Thanks." And then we're going to add "For everything." And I think I'll do my little leaves down the side. Cut the edge there. Okay, here are my gorgeous leaves cards. I hope that you like them and that you'll take a look at those bundles. And if you have any questions again about the join deal, feel free to email me. There's a link at my blog, and or if you just want to go and take a look at the deal on the site, there's also a link at my blog for that too. It says join my team, and check it out. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.